Am I a racist for laughing through the new movie Am I a Racist? Well, we get that answer and more from one of the best comedies in a long while, when Matt Walsh trolls a pack of race hustlers into exposing themselves. And all he had to do was let the grifters talk.
Decolonize yourself. Do your own white supremacy dismantling.
This is the type of film that America needs right now. A no-holds-barred beatdown of the diversity, equity, and inclusion racket. Its 97% audience score on Rotten Tomatoes just confirms the fact that Americans are ready to laugh at DEI, then kick its butt right out the door.
Can I just say one last thing? Can I just propose a toast? Just raise a glass if you're racist. And that's the thing.
By the end of the almost 2-hour runtime, I also confirmed something about myself. I'm prejudiced against stupid. You know, it's been almost 16 years since Tropic Thunder was released, and we all got to kick back and laugh our butts off. It was one of the last great comedies before Hollywood killed humor.
What do you mean, you people?
What do you mean, you people?
Huh?
Well, the dry spell is over, no thanks to Tinseltown. Am I a Racist is a low-budget film made outside of the studio system that does double duty as a documentary and a conservative-style Borat comedy. Sometimes Matt Walsh's deadpan-style humor hits the mark. Other times it misses by a mile. But its story and its message always are on point and land smack dab in the dead center of the bullseye. One of the best things the production does is that it exposes the insanity of the identity politics cult and all the people who run it. People who believe in fighting hate with even more hate. Actually, the film starts with a quote from one of the godfathers of the race hustler movement himself, Ibram X. Kendi. The only remedy to past discrimination is present discrimination. By the way, Ibram X. Kendi's name, before he changed it, was simply Henry Rogers. But he doesn't like to advertise that fact, because it's probably a good bet if he had held on to that all-national American moniker, he wouldn't have become a big hit in the Hollywood Hive. Anyway, Am I a Racist is the first theatrical release from the Daily Wire, and it has instantly caught fire. The movie has grossed almost $10 million, and it's become number 5 in the top 10 movies of the week. And in the process, it proved that the Hollywood critics boycotting it have lost all their power. But in the last couple of days, one of these studio-owned mouthpieces had the nerve to step up. In the setup for his review, this author proves exactly why this is the perfect movie for the perfect time. So on Thursday, I went to see who in Burbank, a town where 70% of the voters chose Joe Biden in 2020, would show up to see the film. I chose the latest showing possible, which was 2:20 p.m. I oversmiled at the Latinx ticket seller while nervously asking for one ticket to Am I a Racist? He seemed unfazed, which made me a little less worried when I handed that ticket to the Asian woman who directed me to Theater 6. The big takeaway there is the movie critic didn't see a human being. He just saw an identity checkbox. He saw color, not character. But what he didn't realize is that his review would end up becoming one of the best sales pitches for a film to any audience. When you get right down to it, Am I a Racist is about Matt Walsh going undercover as Matt Walsh in a bad man bun and skinny jeans and glasses.
If I want to be an ally, I need to look like one.
His journey of discovery catalogs a transformation of a middle-aged guy living in a bubble to a man that decenters his whiteness and becomes an ally to DEI. Along the way, Matt Walsh reads all the anti-racist literature, and before he puts on his disguise, he searches for an expert on the Black experience in America, which, of course, is a white woman. Together, they debate the dreaded Moana problem.
My daughter's 4 years old. I am an anti-racist educator, quote unquote. She's still watching Disney movies, and she is choosing a white princess over princesses of color.
Have you talked to her about that?
All the time.
My 3-year-old daughter is her favorite princess is Moana. So how do we navigate that?
Armed with more questions than answers, Matt Walsh continues his quest. He attends diversity seminars, gets certified as a DEI officer, and flashes his certificate like it's a badge to anyone and everyone he can provoke a response from. He even tries trolling Southerners, yet gets some very much unexpected news when he finds out that ordinary, normal, everyday Americans don't care about crazy. They have a simple philosophy of live and let live.
What do you think about this issue of heteronormativity and how it intersects with the broader structures in society?
At some point, Matt even traps the high priestess of hate herself, Robin DiAngelo, into paying $30 in reparations to his black producer. Yet for me, the true comedy gold, the real message here, is when he focuses the camera on the organization known as Race to Dinner. He brings them right under the microscope.
Let's be clear what's happening in this country. It's Nazism. Republicans are Nazis. You cannot separate yourselves from the bad white people.
Here, Walsh poses as a waiter, and his timing comedically is perfect. Remember, he's not a professional actor, but whether he's interrupting the meal or whether he's dropping dishes, and he's in the room where men aren't supposed to be, because Race to Dinner's event is only for women. They even have rules for them. They're not allowed to cry. They can do that in another room. Because what we discover is that women are paying $2,500 a plate, all to be humiliated like they're in a Hollywood struggle session. And the only reason why it's happening is because they were born minus a little melanin. But the reality really hits the fan when the grifters show their true face and everyone realizes what they really think of the country.
The entire system has to burn. And I'm not going to even use save this country. This country is not worth saving. This country is a piece of shit.
Matt Walsh is a very well-known conservative commentator, one whose opinions I don't always agree with. But in this film, the man is at his very best when he does something simple like slap floating price tags over the heads of grifters. He wants the audience to see exactly how much it cost him to get these grievance gobblers to agree to be in the movie. And towards that end, what we learn is that all these so-called saviors of the oppressed, they all have their price.
We're all way more expensive than they should have been. That we paid them more than they were worth, because this thing is a grift, it's a scam, and that's part of what we're trying to expose. So we fully embrace the fact that we paid them.
Now, Matt Walsh's last film, What Is a Woman, made interview subjects squirm, but this time it's audiences that are going to be wriggling in their seats from shock and laughter. That is, of course, when Matt isn't stepping on his own message. There's this one particular diversity seminar where you have this professional victim pimp who, let me just say, has mastered the art of selling guilt like it's the latest iPhone. Well, she unmasks herself trying to teach these avocado latte sipping suburbanites how to properly bow down to the woke mob. Yet instead of allowing her to embarrass herself, Walsh interrupts her so many times that she starts to come off as sympathetic.
I would really appreciate it if you left.
I'm trying to learn. I'm on this journey.
Can you please leave?
Sometimes in trying to land his comedic jabs, Walsh ends up being the ass in the room. And that undermines the entire premise of his movie, where you have a pack of hustlers charging other people to wind themselves up into a frenzy, all because they weren't born more oppressed. Now, this doesn't happen all the time. It's only like 2 times really in the film. Still, it's worth seeing it. Because I got to tell you, one of my favorite parts of the movie is when we find out that Robin DiAngelo is for sale. By the way, she's the author of White Fragility, the book that's treated like the sacred, unholy text of every social justice warrior. DiAngelo peddles herself for $15,000, all so she can get trolled by Matt Walsh. She has to sign his copy of her book, and in the process, gives the audience a peek behind the curtains of every self-anointed guru of guilt and who they really are.
Being married to a black person or a brown person does not make you impervious to racism.
So to answer the question from the beginning of the video, am I a racist for laughing through the movie? Well, according to the experts in the film, that's not my biggest problem. My biggest sin would happen to be that I was born in the shade of a marshmallow.
Son of a bitch, I knew it!
A lot of it has to do with cognitive dissonance, which allows white people to feel okay about what happened.
Am I a Racist is a solid film with a lot of laughs at the expense of quota queens. But more than that, it's a sign of things to come. We're waving goodbye to the air of crazy and saying hello to character and common sense. That's something to look forward to. If you enjoyed this video and found value in it, hit subscribe, smash the like button, and leave your thoughts in the comments down below, and share this with everyone you know all over the internet. And remember, we are streaming every Wednesday on Slayer Unchained at 2 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. UK time, and again on Sunday with a great panel of guests on Slayer Nation. Very same time, very same channel. Hope to see you there. To win every battle and stay true to yourself, all you have to remember is we never bow down, we never bend the knee. Always full